Hello and welcome to MidSouth Matters on Germantown Municipal Television and to our special election broadcast featuring candidates for the Germantown Municipal School Board. I'm your host, Ruth Dunning. My guest today is Mindy Fischer, who is running for Germantown School Board, position 5. She's a lifelong Memphian, and she and her husband Terry have been married for 24 years and have lived in Germantown for 18 of those years. They have a son, Matthew, who's a sophomore at Houston High School, and a daughter, Meg, in the 8th grade at Houston Middle School. Mindy has a lifelong commitment to public schools. She's a graduate of Ridgeway High School and the University of Memphis. Over the past 10 years, she's held numerous leadership positions, including PTA president at Germantown Elementary, Germantown Middle, and the Germantown Municipal Council. Currently, she's serving her 3rd term as chairman of the Germantown Education Commission. Welcome, Mindy. You've been a busy lady.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. First, I want to know what you think has gone right in the last 3 years. What's wonderful about the inaugural part of the school system?
There are so many exciting things that have been happening. I've been privileged to be on the front row literally for the very first work session and board meeting. And at the first work session, one of the board members looked at me and said, how's it feel to be the public? So I've seen how much hard work has gone into this by everyone involved. And several of the things that I'm really excited about are now that we have special ed preschools at all our schools so that our students are getting to stay in their home schools and with their own families. I'm also excited about the biggest thing really is getting rid of the portables at Riverdale. That's huge.
Yes.
It's long overdue, and I'm just really excited that, that was one of the big commitments that I believe most school board members made for the district was to get rid of that, and I'm so glad that that's happened. But the wonderful things that they've added are like the Leadership Academy here at the high school, Junior Honors Academy at the middle school.
Your children are involved in those.
Correct. I have my son is in leadership and my daughter's in the Junior Honors Academy. So there's so many exciting things that are going on, and it's a great time to be in the Germantown Municipal Schools.
It is, yes. What would you like to see happen in the next 3, 5, 10 years? What's on your agenda? What's your platform?
Well, we need to continue what we've been doing in the spirit of getting rid of the portables at Riverdale. Unfortunately, we have had to add modular classrooms.
The new terminology here.
Well, actually, if you haven't been in them, they're
I
really
haven't.
nice. It's insulting to call them portables.
Okay.
But they're still portables. And so we are going to have to address the capacity issues because I believe that's the number one thing that's facing the district. If we can handle the capacity, then we have the ability to lower classroom numbers. And, of course, that's going to help with students being more engaged in the classroom and with the teachers and all. So there are just so many things that capacity and facilities influence. I think that's one of the number one things we are going to have to deal with. Also, I just feel like we need to be sure that we are meeting every student where they're at. Not every student is going to go on to a 4-year college, but I want every student to leave Houston High School career or college ready. And
how do we get them career ready?
Well, here, the TV studio is a wonderful example of that. And I know that technology classes here are wonderful. My son is in a class right now that at the end of the year he can take a level of Cisco certification. So we are offering our students great opportunities to get them prepared for the next step.
Explain what a Cisco certification means.
Well, Cisco is a networking company brand, and they certify for computer networking and that sort of thing. So you would think of that more like college and beyond, and the fact that you can start getting exposure to that at the high school level, it's another level of like AP or, you know, doing dual enrollment type of thing, but in a technology field. So I think that's really exciting. We also, the districts worked so hard to get started, and they worked tirelessly, and they had to react to everything that was going on and changing quickly. And I feel like it's time for the board to step back and look at things a lot more visionary. Where can we take the district? I know there's a lot of talk about having a fine arts academy, and I think that's a fabulous idea. Once again, it's meeting students where their interests are, and you know, with the possibilities of building another school, that opens up all kinds of things, because it's really exciting to think about a brand new school. Just the addition at Riverdale is exciting, but now to have a whole school that would be the next step is
What would you like
great.
to see in a new school?
Well, I'd like to see a lot more creative learning environments. I think, you know, first off, however the school is built, it needs to be built with the ability to keep up with technology and to expand it easily without, you know, additional cost of having to rewire things and that sort of thing. We need to be forward thinking in how we design that school. I have a degree in interior design, so I feel like that is one attribute that I can bring to the board that is not there now. So I can help think creatively about the space and how we proceed with building another school.
Do you have any particular interest in where the school is located?
Well, I know there's a lot going on, and you know, the land on Winchester is not necessarily my first choice.
What's the problem with the land on Winchester?
Well, it is at the very edge of the city, and I think to me that is the biggest issue. Is it's right at the corner of the city, just like this high school is, and so you know, it's a longer distance. I live in a neighborhood that was. My kids could walk to Germantown Elementary and Germantown Middle. And so that was a huge blow for our family and to move them. And I believe that's another thing that I do bring to the board is I am the only candidate that currently lives in the area that was served by Germantown Elementary and Germantown Middle. So I know what it's like to have to move your kids and do rezoning, and that is a hard thing that is going to come up, is rezoning. There's no two ways about it. So I think I bring a level of compassion and understanding to that, having lived through it.
Where would you like to see the school located?
Well, we need to look at all the available positions that are now. And I don't have enough information to say this one's better than the other one. But what we need to look at is where those are, how much they cost, what condition the land is in. Are we going to have to do a whole lot to prepare it to build on? What are the safety concerns for our students? Because you want, when your kids go to school, to know they're safe. And, you know, as taxpayers, the city only has so much of a debt load, and you know, we need to be fiscally responsible with how we spend that money, because if you spend more on the land, you're not going to have as much for the building and the furnishing. So we need to look at it in totality. And you know, would I like it to be more into Germantown? Yes, I would. So, and the other thing I'd say is that I don't think that we would want to build it right near Germantown Elementary or Middle, because once again, I think as a board we need to be forward thinking, and I'm very optimistic that we can get Germantown Elementary and Middle back, and I would hate to see us put a new building right there next to those. So,
How long do you think it might take for obtaining Germantown
well,
Elementary?
you know, that's part of the 3 to 5 year thing that would be wonderful is if we could get them back, because I certainly, I spent a lot of years with my heart there at those schools, and You know, I know there has been, that Shelby County Schools seems to have been more open with the discussions lately, and I know that they are currently in the process of analyzing what their needs are and right-sizing the district. So I think once they get that report back, that they're going to be in a better position to also come to the table and talk, because unfortunately we're very willing buyers, but we need a willing seller too.
Right.
So.
I don't ever hear anybody say we want Germantown High School back.
Well, I think right now the problem is that we couldn't fill it. Would we love to have it back? Yes, we would. I think that there are some very creative opportunities for us to kind of have it be the second campus of Houston. So there's a lot we could do with it, but right now with capacity, we're good here at the high school. But it's the elementary and then eventually the middle where we're going to need some more space.
What happens when that overflow at Dogwood, for example, gets to high school age? Is Houston going to be able to accommodate?
Right now, from the numbers and projections that I've seen, I believe they will, because we have the Collierville students that were grandfathered in to finish out in the ILA. So I think that'll continue to leave spots open. So I think we're okay.
Good. And on that positive note, we're finished. That
Great.
10 minutes just zooms by.
Sure does.
So I'd like to thank Mindy Fischer for taking the time out of her day to be on the show and sharing her vision for the Germantown Board of Education, Position 5. I hope these interviews were informative and help you, the viewer, make the best informed decision when voting in the election this fall. Thanks for watching.